Hey there, this is Kathy, uh, coming to you from my front porch with a express flow yoga class. The time that I'm doing this recording is midday on Wednesday, and I'm all by myself today because it's a gorgeous day outside. So I'm not surprised that people are making the most of it. So good for you. But I've decided to go ahead and record the class for anybody that might want to jump on board later. So if it's you, um, great. This is for you. Nothing that you have to have for the practice. The goal of this class today is to experience your breath and your body and receive whatever messages it has to offer with a little bit of curiosity and some gratitude. Things are working as well as they can. And by focusing on breath in class. Hi, Eric. As I'm just getting started here, there's a live person coming to class. I was just getting going with my shtick. So for those of you that are tuning into the recording, I'm just hanging in for a moment for Eric to surface. And yeah, so Eric, we can chat afterwards. We're just going to get started, and nothing that you need. What I was just going to say is that yeah, the goal of the class is to.
Wow, that's good to see you.
Yeah, you too, and you're the only one that came live to the class today.
Cool.
Such a beautiful day, so I'm so glad that you did, and um, we'll do our express flow yoga class, and the goal of the class is just going to be to experience your body, your breath, or whatever it is, and whatever messages it has to share with you, and just go with that. The nervous system, our nervous systems are so dysregulated right now just because we've been in such a long period of scanning for threat. We may not even consciously be aware of it, right? But you're looking over your shoulder for what might be coming, or stepping to the other side of the street, and everybody in masks. So just by having some knowledge of that, it's normal, it's okay, and switching over to the sympathetic, more non-emergency side of things, we'll see how that goes and focus on some breath and some long exhales. Um, yeah, so just muting so you only hear my background noise. And here we go. We're going to start standing. Really just simple. Coming to stand. No need to try to correct your posture or anything, but just to feel your body land here, the weight of your body, maybe some stiffness or some imbalance. Just let it all be. You can keep your eyes open if that's better for your awareness and balance. You might notice that you're feeling a little more weight to one side of the body or the other, or often we're kind of leaning into things. And so we'll just draw back a little bit here. Notice the breath as it is right now, with nothing needing to change or be different. Good. Just letting things settle, the earlier part of the day falling into the background. And anything that's yet to come, still often in the future. We're just here right now. Good. And then let's take a few breaths in and out through the nose. And see about having a longer exhale. Maybe you open your mouth as you breathe in. And breathe out. One more time like that. Let's pause at the very top of the inhale. And then exhale, 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 everything to empty at the bottom. Feeling what that's like to be on empty. Good. Let your natural breath a little more fully inhabit your body come back. And then we'll start to do a little bounce, lifting up the heels. So you feel some of that connection and contact and some ripple effects, some shaking through the rest of the body. Really loose, just to loosen up the joints so you can shake your wrists and your shoulders, or just feel that shaking that's happening. And really just lifting the heels, and the rest will follow. Whatever it is that you're feeling, maybe some work. I'm feeling a little bit in the hamstrings, or the bobbing of the head, some tension in the neck releasing. Just keep that going for a little bit. So this is really good to get all of the synovial fluids moving through the connective tissues. Let's take it for 5. Long exhales for 4. Make some noise. 3, 2, and 1. And then just slow that down. Let yourself come back again to just awareness of standing now, all of the sensations of the body in this upright posture. We'll take the chin towards the chest on an exhale and just roll down. You can take a few breaths on the way down. Let the head be heavy, the shoulders. Tuck the chin right in towards the chest and feel your belly lift up. A generous bend at the knees, and take another deep breath in through the nose and out through the breath at the bottom. Once more, breathe in. And then press the feet and start on an exhale to roll up. You can take a few breaths to roll your way back up. And feel the spine articulate itself to upright. Roll the shoulders up and back. And take another breath. Cycle standing, breathing in and out. Longer on the exhale. Breathing in. Just the breath will come in naturally. And then the exhale, the chin tucks towards the chest. See if you can stay on empty a little longer, and then come down to the bottom and another breath in there. The weight of the head draining any of the thinking loops. And then on an exhale again, let's roll back up. Might be taking a couple more breaths on the way, but it starts on an exhale. Bring the shoulders up and around. Good, and a few half sun breaths, so reach the arms and look up. And then exhale, chin to chest. And reach up, press down through the feet and lengthen up through the spine. Little core engagement, and then exhale, chin towards the chest. Legs are strong now, reaching it up. And then exhale, bring it back down. And then standing just here in Samastita, press the left foot down, reach the right arm up, and try and do a few circles around, keeping your arm as straight as possible, and just going within what feels like a safe range of movement without moving the hips a lot. So we're squaring up the hips and the shoulders and just really getting into this whole joint and sensations in that arm. You can have your left hand resting on your sternum to have that encouragement of keeping it a little bit forward. And then reach the right arm back, still with the hips facing forward, and start to have a look over towards the left. If you can, turn the right palm to face up. You should feel some interesting stuff down the right side of the neck for a couple of those long, slow exhales on this side. And then go ahead and take it into the twist. So now let your hips go, your ribs go. Keep drawing your chest a little bit towards the left. And look out over the right shoulder. And again for 3, 2, and 1. Bring the right arm forward again and across, and wrap the left elbow under. Eagle shape your arms, or give yourself a hug, whatever is accessible. And then a little bend in the knees, and Start to round in the upper back. Don't come down too far. Just find this cat C curve in the upper back and then lift up the elbows, straighten the legs. Bend the knees a little bit, tuck the chin and upper back puffs up, drawing the belly in. And then lift it up there. And one more time, exhale, bending the knees. Standing tall on the inhale, open the arms and bring them around behind the back. You can keep your elbows bent as you clasp your hands together and squeeze the elbows close together. Or you can straighten your arms, just depends on what's going on here. Let's drop it into a squat for 3. Moving the hips back for 2. You can look down and see your toes, just like you're sitting in a chair. Doesn't matter how low. One more inhale. And fold over the legs there. So legs may straighten out a little bit, arms reaching away. Drop into that seat on the inhale, come up. And on the exhale to fold. One more time, sitting into the seat to open across the collarbones and reach the arms forward, just straight in front of you. Flip the palms up for 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way up and exhale. Pause and notice and feel the sensations, the temperature and the blood flow and the heart rate. Breathing in through the nose and then in long exhale through the mouth. Lighting that parasympathetic nervous system. Hi, Jennifer. We're going to take the left arm now and do a few circles. And without moving the hips a lot and the shoulders. And so it may be a small range of movement, but lots of sensation. Right hand to the collarbone, just to kind of keep that in place. So we're really getting into checking out what's going on in this shoulder and arm. Might feel some pops. Or hear some clicks. And then let's reach the arm back and try to flip the palm up and look over the right shoulder now. So you feel the small veno muscles along the left side of the neck. Notice where there might be some tension building, maybe the face, the jaw. And then we're going to take it into the twist. So we'll let the ribs and hips start to go to the left as well. Keep reaching back with the left arm. You can look to the side or look back towards that arm, but keep hugging the outer left hip a little bit forward. Let's take 2 breath cycles there. Exhale, exhale, come back with that arm, with the hips, with the shoulders, and take the right elbow underneath the left elbow now. So that eagle shape, or just a hug here. Little bend at the knees as we just round in the upper back and tuck the chin towards the chest. And then lift up tall, elbows lift, hands move away from the face. And then exhale again, C curve in the upper back. Inhaling, tailbone drops, lift. And exhale there. Lift up tall again and open up the arms. And one more time, bring them around behind the back. So there's the clasp with the elbows hugging close together, or you can straighten the arms and you don't even have to hold the hands together if it's too tight. Let's take it into that seat again, Katasana, breathing in, and then exhale, belly to thighs, releasing the arms away from the back and chin to the chest. 2 more times, lifting on the inhale, and exhale to fold, supporting the core. Once more, sit down, inhale, and reach the arms forward, palms face up. And then exhale, release, and come back up and pause one more time, taking in the standing shape. Let's move on, reaching the arms and folding over the legs. Surya Namaskar A. Come up halfway, lengthen. And then bend the knees a lot. Press the palms, wrists to the floor, right underneath the shoulders, and step the right leg back. And then the left leg back. We'll take it into a plank pose. And you can have the knees up or down and the front body moving into the back body. Feel some length coming out through the crown of the head and the back of the skull lifting up a little bit. Sauce of the elbows roll forward. If it's a lot on the wrist, then you can do this from fists instead. Let's take one more breath there. Knees tap down if they're not already and lower. And stretch the legs back and rest your forehead palm on palm with the elbows quite wide. So legs are long, kneecaps are lifted, and then lift just the head. So come into a variation of the Sphinx pose. If you feel compression in the lower back or any pain there, then just lower the height of that. Might have just gone a little bit too far, but definitely feeling some interesting stuff underneath the scapula. The serratus, the upper back muscles. One more breath. And then fold over your head to hands again. This time let's lift the elbows and then lift the head and the hands so the whole package comes up together. If you like, you can lengthen the legs as well. And spread the arms into a cactus shape, hugging the elbows back and up a little bit. The hands might come back a little bit too for one more breath. Exhale, slide the hands to the low ribs, press it up and back. Just take it into a child's pose. You can have your knees together or apart, and the fingertips, if you lift on the fingertips, then stretching a little more underneath the arms, wrap the upper arm bones under for 3. Sensations and breath. Getting back into that parasympathetic calming side of the nervous system. 2. 1, moving to tabletop on the inhale, and we'll curl the toes under now for downward facing dog. And staying here for another 3. Can paddle out the legs for 2. And 1, on empty, come high on the tippy toes and take a slow travel, little steps up towards the front. Let's come up halfway, breathing in. And then exhale and fold. Empty it all out. Press feet, inhale to lift. Right away, fold over the legs, exhaling. Halfway to lengthen. The exhale bends the knees and the hands press to the floor. And this time the left leg steps back. And then the right leg. Take a couple extra breaths here. It's giving the nervous system a no hurry message. Knees up or down. One more inhale. And then tap the knees down again. Narrow the elbows to lower all the way down. Let's take the legs long again and have the fingertips come off the mat with the elbows lifted. And press the feet to make your way forward again. Not too high. Left shoulder drops and peeking to the right. Inhale, center and switching. Right shoulder drops, having a peek back underneath the left arm. Inhale, come back through center and exhale to fold. Palms press, back through table. Into child's pose again. It's the counter pose to feed the kidneys and slow down those exhales. Just if it's helpful to connect with these breath ideas. Let's go back through table. On the inhale, toes curl under, press the hips up and back, downward dog. Shake up the head a few times. Some carbon dioxide offload with an open mouth. One more breath in, pressing away from the palms, belly to thighs, and then high on the heels and tippy toeing back forward. The breath in brings the spine halfway and fold on the exhale. Then press into the feet and come all the way. Breathing in and exhale. Press the palms to the heart and pause. Let's carry on with the breath in and fold on the exhale. Halfway lengthen. We'll step the left leg back this time and stay high on the back toes as you settle the hips down and lift the belly. Keep the hips relatively stable where they are, might be on fingertips or fists here, and tap the left knee. And then straighten out the left leg again, and then tap it down, or just bend that leg a little bit and press out through the heel as a way of getting into the whole front quad and psoas on that side a couple more times. Good, and then take your left hand a little bit wider to the side and draw the right hip crease back with your right hand and start to twist it over to the right side, looking to the side or looking out over your right shoulder for 3. Still trying to keep the left hip a little bit lifted for 2. And 1, come back to center, walk your hands on the inside of the right foot now, and then keep that going over to the left. Parallel your feet so they are now facing or outer edges are facing the short edges of your mat. Come up on your fingertips and take a breath. And then bend the left knee a lot. You can turn your left toes out a little bit here. Keep lifting underneath the right thigh and just let the crown of the head track a little weight towards the ground as the tail continues to lift up. Feeling the arch of the right foot is there. The outer right foot presses for 1 more breath in. Back through center. Just come up halfway. And then exhale, bring the hands to the hips and come all the way up. Let's turn the right toes out here. And bend the right knee so we adjust our stance to have the length in our legs that feels reasonable for warrior 2, to have the torso in the center of that and the right toes tracking out over the outside of the foot. Let's add the arms. So open it up into warrior 2, looking out over the right fingertips. Just experiencing the curiosity about breath and sensations in this pose right here, right now, together. A flying warrior, so reach the arms up on the breath in and the legs straighten in on the exhale, warrior 2. And once more, breathing in. And exhale, warrior 2. Left arm drops, right arm lifts to exalt the warrior for 3, 2, and 1. Back through warrior 2. And then we'll pivot on the back toes so it'll come into a high warrior lunge. And there might be some wobbling on the way through that. Reaching the arms up and bending the back knee a little bit to get another stretch in that psoas area and lengthen the low back. Cactus shape for another inhale, elbows wide and reaching a little bit forward. And then exhale, bring the hands to the floor. Press into the palms and step back, downward facing dog. Let's shift forward for a vinyasa to plank pose. Tap the knees down to exhale and lower. Stretch the legs long and then any cobra or back bend. Fingertips in line with the shoulders or back to that gecko shape. Exhale to press palms to low ribs back through table. Let's go right away into downward facing dog. Let's bring the big toes together and take the left leg up and back. And then bend the left knee towards the nose and step the left foot up towards the front for just a breath on this side. Low lunge. And then the right foot will step up to meet the left foot to fold over the legs and let it go. Press into the feet, come all the way up. Inhale and exhale, trace the center line to pause and reset. For a couple shoulder rolls here before we do the second side, releasing any building tension. Arms reach up on the inhale. The exhale takes us forward. Rhythm of breath, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. This time the right foot is stepping back. Right foot steps back. Got that low lunge and we're wiggling the right heel as far back as we can so we get a stretch in the front thigh. When we tap or lower the right knee a little bit without doing much with the hips, so press out through the heel. Make it about feeling something in that hip flexor psoas. Tap and then press out, inhale. Tap and stretch it out one more time. Good. Let's walk the hands, or sorry, the right hand just a little forward and off to the right. You can spin the fingers out. You can even turn the left toes out a little bit here and draw the left thumb into the left hip crease. Start to revolve. You can use your hand, the right side of the rib cage under and look over to the side. So a twist here, and that back knee could be down as well. I know this is a pretty quick moving class, so let's just slow down for another full breath in and out. Good, let's walk the hands on the inside of the left foot and then around through center to parallel the feet again. So hands towards the right, landing in center for a breath in there. We'll start to bend the right knee deeply. Turn the right toes out 30 or 45 degrees and just let the head track down over on the right somewhere. Lifting the belly and try to straighten your version of straight, or just activate the left inner thigh to lift a bit, pressing into the outer left foot for one more breath. Inhale back to center, parallel the feet, halfway lift. And then exhale, hands come to the hips to come all the way up. We'll do the sequence on this side with the left toes turning out. So front heel lines up with back arch. A few bends of the left knee, engaging the right inner thigh, still lifting that area and finding the right distance between your feet so your torso feels like it's in center and we're not leaning too far out into the future. Open up the arms for warrior two. Taking 3 breaths here. Just to be. And then flying warrior, arms and legs straighten. Inhale, exhale, sit. Inhale. And exhale. Just moving through water, transitions are of equal value. And exhale. And then exalt the warrior, right arm drops, left arm lifts up. Now to the high lunge, pivoting on the back toes and spinning to face the short edge of your mat, a little bend in the back knee perhaps, for one more breath. Exhale, the hands come down, stepping back, downward facing dog. And shifting through our final vinyasa, forward to plank. Knees to tap, exhale to lower. Cobra on the inhale. Palms pressed to low ribs, taking it back this time just into child's pose. Arms can stretch forward again, or you can make fists and rest your forehead. Or hands can reach towards the back of your mat, the forehead on the floor or propped up on something. Giving yourself, it's almost like a hug. We're not getting a lot of those. We haven't for a long time, so that's okay. Just you give it to yourself. Connecting your heart, lungs, digestive organs, filling the breath into the back. And then chin to chest to come up to take a seat. And let's just take the legs wide for a moment, come up on the forward edge of the sits bones. You can place something underneath yourself if you like. Staying with an upright shape or walking the hands forward and pulling the ground back. Press out through the heels so the legs are active, even if there's a bend at the knees. And then press to sit up and let the arms come back again and just be more relaxed here. We'll bend the knees and we'll take the knees over towards the left and press into the right shin, lifting up the right hip. And then keeping some weight in the left hand and reaching the right arm around and behind yourself. Let's do a couple sweeps. So open up the right arm and then reach it around and make that wrap. This is going to be our final twist. And then open once more and reach and back through center. Flipping the knees over towards the right and pressing the left shin towards the floor. So that left hip is way lifted up there. Right hand presses and then the left arm wraps around and over towards the right or the back of your mat. And then open up again, breathing in. Empty, empty, empty the exhale. Last one, in and out. Good, back through center. Breathing in, bring the legs together. And we'll come right down onto the mat with the knees in towards the chest for another hug. Good job. Hands on either knee and circle the knees away from each other a couple of times and back into center. We're moving into a couple of minutes of rest. If you have anything else that you needed to do here, if you'd like to take a happy baby pose with either your heels heavy or your heels lifted, holding your thighs or ankles, or anything else. And whenever you're ready, permission just to come into a resting pose with the knees together or the legs extended and long. Closing your eyes. Allow yourself to experience the full rest and digest aspect of this practice. It's hard, but it's well worth it. Just for 1 minute here. Of course, you can stay longer, allowing the flood of an emotional tone or the activity of the mind to just be okay to be there. Feeling the body settle into the support of the soil, the earth, and just connecting with the simple gratitude for what's working pretty well and whatever got you here to your practice this morning. In a moment, you'll hear the sound of the bell to invite the attention back into your space. And you can just stay for a nap or come over to one side and press up to sit. Letting the hands rest in the lap or come to the heart center and taking a moment just to acknowledge also each other's support in the community. And to make an intention for this half hour that we've spent together to in some way have benefit for others that we'll be engaging with later, whenever that later may be. Namaste.